Hi, I'm Karen Hesser, Chief Executive Officer at Five Rivers Metro Parks. Metro Parks and our downtown riverfront plan partners, the City of Dayton, the Miami Conservancy District, the Downtown Dayton Partnership, and others are working on an exciting project in downtown Dayton. Together, we are creating a vibrant urban loop trail that will transform the river from a physical and psychological divider in our community into the place that unites downtown and the neighborhoods across the river. The Riverwalk will bring the community together at the river, connecting Dayton's key riverfront assets and celebrating the unique character of the city. In this 3-mile loop, the Riverwalk will offer a series of dynamic spaces and activities linked by beautiful promenades along the levee tops. 5 bridges will allow seamless movement from the city's historic neighborhoods to the heart of downtown and back. Completing the Riverwalk will take some time, but we're starting this year by focusing on gathering community input to learn what possibilities excite them the most. More to come on this project for sure. Next, please welcome Doug Sorrell from the Plaza Theater to share the unique story of how the theater helped contribute to the revitalization of downtown Miamisburg.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me to speak today. Before we begin, I want to clarify that I am not an elected or appointed official for the city of Miamisburg. I serve as president on the nonprofit volunteer board of the historic Plaza Theater. Many suburban communities are investing heavily in downtown revitalization, and I want to focus on Miamisburg's transformation, including the success of our historic Plaza Theater. Miamisburg has undergone significant changes over the years. Once a bustling suburb, the city faced economic challenges in the late 20th century. A decline in manufacturing, the advent of shopping malls, and absentee landlords left a deteriorating downtown. In the late 1970s, Main Street, in a 6-block area from Pearl Street to Linden Avenue, was home to 27 bars, taverns, saloons, and beer joints. 27. Amidst them were 6 well-established retailers with regional loyal customer bases and the renowned Peerless Mill Inn. None exist today. As a newly elected city council member in my late 20s, alongside 2 other new members, we decided it was time to change Miamisburg's tough Rivertown image. We began objecting to liquor license renewals for the bad actors. In addition, the city had too many absentee landlords and parking meters. With a slim majority on council, we systematically tackled these issues. Early on, we learned that in Miamisburg city government, you need 4 votes to make a change. With $36,000 in excess community development block grant funds from a seniors low-income apartment project, I proposed a downtown purchase rehab program providing forgivable grants as down payments for retailers to buy their properties. Retailers have money to use either buying property or buying inventory. They make money buying inventory for resale and stay in business. Steve Stanley at Montgomery County Corps loved the idea and added $150,000 equally to the Berg, West Carrollton, and Trotwood, protected to each for 12 months. Extensive building renovations began occurring with new ownership as well. After that first 12 months, the funds were first come, first served, and the Burg secured the largest portion. Our city won a National HUD Award for this program. Our locally owned Farmers and Merchants Bank stepped in with mortgages in support of local businesses. As tenants became owners, the city adopted a business-friendly approach, helping when asked. Then came the parking meters. I championed their removals in the early 1980s. Parking meters are anti-business. At malls and shopping centers, we can park our cars forever and not worry about a ticket. As a former successful retailer, I want my customers considering another item to buy, not concerned about feeding a meter. We've all heard the phrase, meters create turnover. A bureaucrat came up with that, not a businessman. Every successful downtown needs an identity: dining, entertainment, retail. Miamisburg's rebirth and transformation began 20 years ago when a group of brave restaurateurs took a leap of faith. The Burg was run down. Real estate was cheap. They successfully flipped Miamisburg into a dining destination. Next came entertainment, Riverfront Park, and a decade ago, the restoration of this historic Plaza Theater. Retail followed as foot traffic returned. Foot traffic is critical for retail. In the recent Best of Dayton competition, 27 Miamisburg businesses, events, and attractions were nominees. 19 were finalists, either winning or placing second and third, proving the impact of decades of effort. Currently, voters for the next Best of Dayton winners and finalists have 40 plus Miamisburg area choices to support. The last vacant retail space in downtown Miamisburg opened on July 3rd last year. Entropi Brewing Company, our newest star in the Star City and host of today's After Summit reception. Incidentally, a former 2-story downtown warehouse converted to a 10,000 square foot single family residence recently sold and closed on October 24th for $1 million. It boasts an indoor freight elevator to carry your car upstairs. Through dedicated efforts and business-friendly policies, Miamisburg has reshaped itself into a thriving destination. Investments in dining, entertainment, and public spaces have played a critical role in this transformation. This is the story of the Plaza Theater and Miamisburg's shared revival. In the early 2000s, Miamisburg was yearning to return to its former glory as a welcoming, walkable, thriving small town. As businesses returned, it became obvious that an entertainment venue would be a draw to residents and visitors alike. A brave group of 7 volunteers took on the Herculean task of resurrecting the theater to its former glory. Beginning with $600 in donations and an extraordinary 30-year lease agreement, this diverse group of business people, architects, construction experts, and hard-working enthusiasts galvanized the town to raise over $400,000 and complete construction within a single year. Since then, the theater has continued to modernize its interior and exterior while growing its offerings. Not only showing new and classic movies, it serves as a public gathering place, an event space, and a place for celebrations. The restaurants, coffee, ice cream shops, and the many other retail businesses in Miamisburg continue to flourish as the theater attracts people from far and wide.
Tom and Dash Gelato Shop would like to thank the Plaza for the amazing programming they offer, which has increased the foot traffic downtown and increased business for all.
The Plaza Theater is a symbol of the amazing comeback the city of Miamisburg has had since its ghost town days in the late 70s.
The Plaza Theater's vibrant presence downtown has positively impacted our business by being a main attraction and drawing a diverse group of folks from Miamisburg as well as out-of-towners.
We love having the Plaza as our neighbor as it brings tons of families and new customers to our store. Besides, who doesn't love sneaking candy into a movie theater?
Ann & Company is so happy to be neighbors with the Plaza. We love our little town and hope you visit the shops and restaurants while here. Date night or a family outing, Miamisburg has something for everyone. Enjoy the show.
The historic Plaza Theater, the heart of downtown Miamisburg, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. This historic Plaza Theater was restored and reopened within 12 months, exclusively through private donations from under 50 donors. A committee of 7 citizen volunteers and 2 city staffers led the effort. Chris Fine was a member. None of us knew the movie business, but we knew a theater would be great for downtown. Jack Berkemeyer reached out from upstate New York after being sent that article. A native Daytonian, Jack had spent decades in the movie business and was looking to return to our area. We invited him to relocate and join the committee. He did. We secured a long-term lease on this vacant building with very favorable terms. We established a nonprofit 501c3 organization. We launched a fundraising campaign. Our Sidewalk Star project is now sold out, eventually generating $565,000. I borrowed the idea from Hollywood. Our construction cost grew to $382,000 from an initial $250,000 estimate. We raised $432,000, mostly from donor pledges spread over 5 years. 100% of those donors paid in full. Farmers and Merchants Bank issued a loan secured from a portion of the city's rainy day fund as collateral. The city got back every penny plus interest when we paid off our 5-year loan. We were off and running. We became clients of all 8 American studios, 1 in Europe, and the Ian Fleming Family Trust, who until recently owned the James Bond films. Our year 1 projections estimated a $50,000 loss, thus are raising $50,000 more than actual construction costs. We lost $60,000. We were overachievers. We created external cash flows using my famous 3-legged stool to maintain $5 admissions. We conducted an annual gala. I helped plan and conduct over 1,000 of these, helping to secure $50 million. I borrowed the PBS idea of film underwriting. We created a sportsman's raffle, partnering with our local moose. This idea was borrowed from the Shriners in Detroit. In addition, we pursued private rentals. In 2024, we had 170 private rentals, creating significant cash flow. In year 2, we added new releases to our film lineup. Year 1 was only older and classic films. In year 3, we balanced our books and have every year since, including 2020. In 2021, we received a $2,500 grant from Montgomery County's Culture Works and No Directions. Our executive director had applied, but coincidentally had recently left the Plaza. I borrowed an idea from Turner Classic Movies and created a century of cinema. Hollywood creating a movie from a book is nothing new. In 2004, Warner Brothers released a sleeper hit from the 1996 Nicholas Sparks novel, The Notebook. The studio wanted to cast George Clooney and Paul Newman. Director Nick Cassavetes wanted his male leading actor unknown and not necessarily handsome. The leading actress came down to Reese Witherspoon, Britney Spears, or Rachel McAdams. It's our next century of cinema. Join Melissa Kakenmeister as she explores The Notebook on Wednesday, May 7th. Sponsored by the Miamisburg Eagles. Doors open at 6, program at 7. Join us.
Ryan Gosling, Rachel McAdams, James Garner, Jenna Rollins, James Marsden, with Sam Shepard and Joan Allen in a Nick Cassavetes film.
I read to her, and she remembers.
The Notebook.
UD's OSHA program has included this series in the past, and last October, we won a 4-state Philo Award, cable TV's equivalent of an Emmy. We are the only theater in America to win this recognition. This program is underwritten by the Miamisburg Eagles, and now in our 4th year with our schedule of 2025 presenters and films filled since last February. This September, we will begin selecting and scheduling 2026 films and presenters. We've had over 20 presenters from the general public. Subject matter is either a theme, actor, actress, or director, followed by a film related to the subject. People would reminisce to me about being younger, coming to the Plaza, and admission being 25 cents with dime candy. We don't answer to a corporate entity. So in February 2023, we launched 25-cent Saturday matinees with free candy in our lobby from Grandpa Joe's across the street. Once a quarter, for a quarter. Our friends at the Moose underwrite the studio film costs. It's our next 25-cent movie matinee on Saturday, June 7th at 4 p.m., sponsored by the Miamisburg Moose. The film concept was based on an imaginary friend created by this filmmaker after his parents' divorce. The idea was originally rejected by Columbia Pictures, but Universal Pictures saw potential and budgeted $10 million. After its premiere at the Cannes Film Festival, this fantasy film became America's highest grossing film of all time, surpassing Star Wars. 11 years later, Jurassic Park topped this box office. Same Ohio-born filmmaker. Join us as we present a Steven Spielberg masterpiece, E.T. Free candy in our lobby, courtesy of Grandpa Joe's.
I'll be right here.
The Plaza features a Christie digital 4K laser projector, one of only 12 in Ohio and the only one in the Miami Valley. Our sound is delivered by a Dolby 7.1 theater system. This is a 38-foot screen. We are debt-free. Since opening, our admission has remained $5. We have attracted over 170,000 visitors. Last year, we had 25,497 guests. With 288 seats and 4 wheelchair spots, we have the largest seating capacity of any facility featuring film in Montgomery County. We are fully handicap accessible with hearing and sight impaired devices. Over the years, we have also hosted music tribute shows, comedy nights, film festivals, world premieres, and special guest appearances. This is Chuck Lavelle. He's been the keyboardist of the Rolling Stones for 43 years. For years, October brings us a visit from the real Ohio Ghostbusters. Our 170 private rentals last year, plus our normal 9 showings per week of films, helped us create a constant downtown foot traffic. The Plaza has become a pillar of downtown Miamisburg, bringing steady foot traffic and a new energy to Miamisburg. Miamisburg's redevelopment success is a testament to community-driven projects. Our plaza exemplifies how private investment, vision, and perseverance can revitalize a historic downtown and sustain its success. Last April 27th, we hosted an entirely free red carpet donor appreciation event celebrating our journey from an empty shell in 2015 to a thriving theater today. The full 80-minute program is available on YouTube. I encourage you to watch it, become inspired, and convinced you can duplicate this in your community. At the Plaza, our guiding principle is simple: balance the books and create foot traffic. Thank you.